Okay, yeah, it should be live now. So today, I'm going to be doing an update to the Zero Suit Samus guide. Yeah, just wanted to update this as the character has grown a lot since the previous guide, just in the tier list. Turned out to be one of the better characters in the game. Definitely a very solid top tier character with one of, if not the strongest aerial games in the entirety of Smash Ultimate, and also one of the best abilities to tech chase. So yeah, I think that let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so with Zero Suit Samus, you have a lot of movement options. She's very fast. She has the fastest initial dash speed in the game, which means that whenever you touch the stick, then she's going to be moving the fastest of everyone. Like Falcon, he has a faster movement speed than Zero Suit, like running speed. However, Zero Suit has a faster initial dash, so that means that whenever she starts moving, she'll move further than whenever Falcon starts moving. A lot faster as well. So yeah, you also have one of the fastest air speeds in the game. I believe the 9th fastest air speed and 4th fastest run speed, unless I'm getting those two backwards. Those should be correct. But yeah, pretty high full hop, and then just like an average short hop as well. Really good for doing neutral air to stuff out anti-airs, and as you can see it has like no in-lag at all. It's also a combo tool, but I'll get more into aerials in a second. First I want to turn on all of this just to kind of have realistic damage output and everything for this guide. So yeah, I guess the first thing I'll start off with is the flip kick. This move has, I believe, 10 frames of invincibility. After frame 3, I'll have to slow it down so you can see it. So yeah, as you can see, she's invincible for a bit of time, and then you can land on top of your opponent just like that. But yeah, you can use flip kick in pretty much every situation. Like, the only way that I would say that you shouldn't use it is if you're planning on just using it a ton like this over and over again, as it does have a pretty visible pattern that you can kind of see behind Zero Suit, so it can be a bit predictable, although if you mix it up, it's very hard to tell when you're going to do it. You can do it in the air, like this, and you can still jump out of it, and up special, and wall jump. You can bounce off of the ledge with it occasionally, and use it to hit people. You can use it in disadvantage to get out of disadvantage, or you can use it in advantage to be able to land on top of people or neutral, and then maybe get a free up smash punish. Or if they're at a low percent, maybe you can get a bit of an up air string on them, as up air is massive and can basically just juggle people into infinity. Although it does have a bit of landing lag, which allows people to escape, or you can just air dodge through it and things like that. However, as I said earlier, Zero Suit Samus has one of the best aerial games in the entirety of Ultimate, so you have a lot of other options as well to cover people whenever they get out of this berry effect. So yeah, you have the berry effect hit, you have the leg hit of whenever you hit the A button, which I did not do there. But yeah, it's not that easy to hit on the ground because you have to space it out a bit better than what I've found to hit it easier. But yeah, you can basically kind of control like where you're going to hit your opponent by hitting A and then holding a direction. But yeah, that was, I believe, the leg hit there, which does not spike. It will send away from you, but it's kind of hard to tell on the stage as well. So yeah, you can use that out of the hit to just send people away from you, and kind of land like that, and you can get a bit of spacing. Like, now you have stage control, which is a really important thing to have for Zero Suit, as you have so much like, anti-air moves and options that your opponent basically have to approach you with a grounded option, and you also have things to beat that out, like down smash special, which can lead into a ton of rewards as well. So yeah, then you have the actual spike hitbox of it, which I don't know if I landed it there or not, but yeah, it's one of the most powerful spikes in the game. It will kill most characters right around 50% off stage, and they'll just instantly be dead from the spike, like they won't even get a chance to recover. So yeah, you could also use that, although you do have to be careful as it is a bit laggy in in the air, so if you throw it out and your opponent just like dodges it or something, they might get an option to punish you if they do like a neutral air dodge into an up air. With a character like Ganondorf, that could result in you losing your stock because you might just be too far away to be able to recover. You can also not flip kick if you've been hit out of a flip kick. You have to touch ground first to be able to perform another one. But yeah, you can still do stuff like this to be able to mix up a lot of your aerial movement options. Another thing with flip kick is you can control the distance as well. If you hold further away, then you will move further. And then if you do like a neutral one there, it's kind of in the middle. And then you can also do a short one if you hold in after doing it. You can also B reverse it like that. And then do the same things there, like you can B reverse it into small kick, so that way you don't travel as far, but you still jump backwards, and you can use that to kind of be like a semi-air dodge almost with the invincibility frames. And then the fact that you're just getting out of the way, like it's really good for repositioning yourself, as it's not too committing, like landing lag-wise. Although if your opponent does read it, then they do get a very hard punish on you just because you have all the frames where you're actually transitioning into that position. So if they throw out a combo starter that's not too laggy, then they will be able to get a combo on you, but if they don't read it and they just try to punish your landing lag, they have to do something really quickly, like a jab, to be able to get a punish, and it's not too rewarding for them. So it might just be better for them to get stage control or something like that out of the flip kick, which is another thing you should be careful of when using flip kick, is that you don't give your opponent stage control. DSS does have ways to get back out of disadvantage pretty easily, including flip kick, as it's just very fast and then it can put you in the center of the stage for free. But yeah, you do have to just watch out for your opponent throwing out moves to try to cover the flip kick. Yeah, now for probably one of, if not her best moves, which is neutral air. As you can see, neutral air kind of works like Lucina's neutral air, what I always think of. Like Lucina, Roy, Kron, Marth. They all have very similar neutral airs, and it covers both sides of you, and it's very fast. It's also a combo starter. But yeah, you can do like neutral air, or like landing neutral air into neutral air. At mid-percent, you can do into flip kick as well. And it's not very committing at all. It has very few frames of in lag. As you can see there, I did neutral air into forward air. You can do like neutral air to attack against back air as well, but that's just neutral air, neutral air. Bit of a risky play there for me, but as you can see, that actually did about 65% just off of one string. That wasn't a true combo or anything, but it was just a simple string that I picked up, just, trying to read what the Falcon was doing as he was landing. But yeah, a lot of people say that Samus is a pretty heavy combo character, although a lot of her combos just come from just her opponents not reacting properly. Like as you can see there, that did about 25%, however it wasn't true, although it was very quick. So if you don't react in a situation like that, then Zero Suit's just going to be able to keep you in disadvantage for a very long amount of time off of one neutral air. The good thing about neutral air is the way that it sends, like the direction. It doesn't send too high above the ground, although it does send in front of you, so it basically means that you're just instantly put into the corner if you're in the corner, and then if you're not in the corner, it basically means that you get put into about center stage. It can be spaced as well, so that way if Zero Suit's using it to land, you don't have to worry about someone getting too close to you, as you have a move that's fast enough to where you can throw it out and not be hard punished, and you can also space it pretty well. Like with back air, for example, it has some range, although it has a lot more landing lag. It still doesn't really have that much landing lag, but compared to neutral air, it has a significant higher amount of landing lag. Yeah, I can do like neutral air into jabs. You can do neutral air into flip kick as well. However, might be a bit risky to go for that, as if you misread their DI or something, then you could miss the flip kick and get punished. Especially against characters like Captain Falcon, who can just turn around and up special you. So yeah, that's definitely something that you want to be watching out for. Next up is going to be your, I guess I'll go with down air. So down air is very good at edge guarding. It's one of the best spikes in the game, if not the best, as it can basically spike if you're at an angle no matter what happens. The main issue is that if you don't get the strong hit, you will most likely die first, as I did there. So you don't really want to do that in a position where your opponent's not at too low of a percentage, as you can see there. However, if you get the strong hit, which is basically the startup hit, which you can kind of hit a down smash. There we go. So as you can see there, I still died first, just slightly, but it was a lot stronger of a spike. But yeah, you can do moves like down smash or neutral special to be able to get that. You can also try to combo it out of neutral air, although be careful as you do have to run up to your opponent or like jump in. Depending on their DI, it could be a bit reactable, and then they can air dodge it, so you might just waste stock. So you might not want to try something like that unless you're in a lead, or if you know that you're going to be able to hit them and then die first. It does send you downward pretty quickly, as you can see there. But yeah, back air, I guess, will be the next move I go over. So back air is just pretty much useful for picking up kills as an aerial, as it has a lot of knockback. As you can see there, it has a bit more knockback than neutral air if you get the strong hit, which is on the back of Zero Suit's foot. Basically where the flames are coming out of the back of her heel. Is where the strong hit is. It's a bit stale at the moment, because I've used it a few times, but as you can see there, it does about 15% or so. So it's just pretty good for getting a bit of damage in as well if you can land it. Like if you read someone's jump and punish with the back air, you'll be in a pretty good position. And then finally, up air. Up air has a lot of ladder strings, kind of like with Mario. There are a few true combos as well. I do not believe in true combos into up special, but you can still land it pretty easily, as it doesn't allow your opponent to have too much time to react. I believe I said neutral special, but up special is what I meant. Up special is really strong in this game, like it was in the previous game, although not as strong. As you can see, it killed at about 90 at the ledge. So, if you can land like an up air or a few into an up special, you might not be able to kill like I wasn't able to there, although you will be able to get a pretty good amount of damage, as it does about 25%. Or at least it did there. I believe I comboed it out of an up air though, so, yeah, but you'll still be able to get a pretty good amount of damage just off of a few hits like that. And then up special is also really good at anti-airing. But with up air, basically if your opponent just jumps above you at all, you can just throw it out. Like you can throw that or up tilt into an up air, though up tilt has a lot of inning lag, so it might just be better to go for up air. Although, the issue with up air is that hitbox is a bit weird, as you saw me trying to land it earlier. It works really well on talk air, so which is one of the good things about playing against Captain Falcon in these videos, as I do most of the time, is that he's kind of tall, so you can do like that to be able to hit him pretty easily, and then get a bit of an up air into up special ladder string. But yeah, if you can get about 2 up airs is what I've seen so far, off of one. Like you can get one to another, and then you can try to react to what your opponent's going to do. Like you could do up air, flip kick potentially. If they're at a higher percent, as Falcon was only at 30% there, so he's going to hit the ground pretty quickly. But yeah, now for your specials. I already went over flip kick and up special pretty much, so next is slide special. Slide special is really good at edge guarding. It's not too useful on stage, I would say, just because there's a lot of room for you to be punished if you throw it out. Obviously, if you throw it out at ledge like that, it's not too bad, but if you just do something like that off stage and you actually land the move, it does a ton of knockback. It also covers a pretty large area as well. But yeah, Falcon's covering a little there. But yeah, the main issue is that it can drop out, and I've had it happen a lot. I've seen people land it very consistently, but I always seem to run into a lot of issues with multi-hits, and that one's one of the larger issues that I have. Although it does a ton of damage and knockback, so even if you do mess it up, like the way that it knocked out Falcon whenever it did drop earlier, it was fine. As you can see there, like it dropped him out, but it put him into a position where he couldn't recover. So that does happen a lot as well. Really good for edge guarding opponents that have a pretty horizontal recovery rather than vertical, kind of like Captain Falcon, who's going to be trying to approach him like this angle. Even Zero Suit Samus as well, though she can also recover from below the ledge. Most of the time we're going to be finding a lot of characters with horizontal recoveries being hit by that. You can also go for flip kick, but I always find side special a lot easier to hit, although I've practiced flip kicking a lot more than side specials to be able to find them in this video, so that's why I messed up more on that. With neutral special, that's the last special that Zero Suit has. So you can charge up a stun shot, and depending on how you charge it and your opponent's percent, it lasts for a longer time of hit stun. You can use it. I personally like to use it off stage like this. And then actually land the move, because it will combo into a free flip kick. You can also do something like this, although you have to do the flip kick quickly. I delayed it there. And then it has to be directly on the ledge, so that way you knock off with the thing. So if you see someone like roll into ledge, you can do something like that, and then do that quickly. So you can do like that to get killed, potentially. I should have gone for up special there, as that would have killed. But up smash was the safer option, I'd say, just in case they mashed out, as it covers more range. But yeah, you can get a free kill like that. You can also just use it if somebody's trying to approach you grounded, because you've been anti-airing them, to get a bit of damage. You can see I did about 31% there off of that. But yeah, I dropped that because it's a bit sticky, but yeah, you can do something like that out of a neutral special. You can basically land any move that you want to out of neutral special. Some of the better ones would be like neutral air, and then if you send it away. So yeah, if you do neutral special into neutral air, well, you have to do it pretty quickly. You can combo that into a flip kick. You can see it there. That wasn't true, but that was mainly just because I didn't do it fast enough. Or it could have been like a DI percent thing. But yeah, neutral special basically just allows you to get a free follow-up and stops opponents from approaching grounded, like they have to shield or jump over it. If they jump over it, I said earlier, you can hit them like an up air or neutral air to be able to send them away. Back air is especially good in a situation like this. You can B-reverse it for wave bounce. You can also do that with side special as well, although it's not as good as neutral special is. Like, you can basically just cancel your entire momentum and go the opposite direction with side special. But you can also use it in mix-ups like that, where you look like you're going to wave bounce, and then you actually end up running in with side special to be able to potentially pick up a stock. So yeah, for combo starters, we've already gone over neutral air and neutral special, so another one would be down tilt. Down tilt, as you can see, since over like that, it's pretty good at starting strings at mid percents rather than at low percents like I tried to do there. Then you see it can lead into killing strings, or it can just force your opponent to basically have to react to you. Because if they don't throw out an option and they're in the air, then you can basically do something like that and then mess up the down special input completely. But yeah, down tilt is just really good at sending your opponents in a position to where they basically have to throw out a jump unless they want to get caught by like a paralyzed shot, or they can throw out an air dodge as well to avoid it. It's also really good at setting up tech chases. Zero Suit does have one of the fastest jabs in the game, being frame 1's time with like Little Mac and stuff. There are a lot of characters that have frame 1 jabs, but yeah, that basically allows Zero Suit to be able to get 2 frames, or not 2 frames, but jab blocks very easily, just because you can run up to someone and then do something like that and be very non-committal. Another one is down smash, not down tilt, but down smash. It works very similarly to the charge shot, although it's not too committing to throw out a down smash. Really useful for tech chases, as that will basically allow you to get a paralyzed shot, except you hit grounded opponents very easily, because you just shoot at the ground with a charge shot and it kind of spreads all over the ground like that. So yeah, somebody rolls into you, then you do a down smash, and you get a free punish. If somebody is trying to get to the ledge, you can occasionally two-frame with that, although Falcon is going to recover high, which is something he should have done in that situation as I was charging the charge shot. Yeah, it does hit slightly under ledge, and then you can get like a down tilt into forward air of the paralyzed shot. But yeah, just paralyzed shot in general is really useful, just to kind of like run up and paralyzed shot. If you space it, I would say. If your opponent's at a high percent and you're in like a situation where they're going to be shielding a lot, like it's the final stock or something, you can run up a down smash unexpectedly as a mix-up and then be able to basically end their stock. Another one is going to be Zaire, which I didn't really cover when I went over the aerials, but yeah, Zaire has a ton of range, and then it basically does the same thing as neutral air, although just not as well because there's less hit stun. You can still use it to approach, like with neutral air, and then it does have its use off stage as an edgeguard tool, mainly just to lead into like a flip kick edgeguard or something similar to that, as most of the time with Zaire, you can see it has a ton of range. You're going to be hitting at like the tip of that move, so you can get like a long range flip kick or something like that pretty easily off of the tip of Zaire. Zaire's mainly useful for just like trying to space out your opponent. Zero Suit is a very rush on heavy character, although it can be important to kind of keep your opponent at a distance if you're just trying to poke at them in neutral, or if you're in disadvantage and you want to just try to stuff out their aerials, you can use Zaire for that, as it's very fast. Zaire can also lead into grabs on stage if it's not spaced properly. Although it's kind of hard to do in that position, so let me knock Falcon into the center. So yeah, mess that up, but here. Yeah, mess it up again, because I keep doing it a bit too early. But if you land a grounded Zaire, it can lead into grabs. And same thing with like neutral air as well. At lower percents you can, or not lower, but mid percents you can combo that into grab. So about like 60% or so. With Falcon, I believe, will combo into grab. Zero Suit's grab has a few combo starters, which is why I wanted to kind of transition into that using Zaire. So you have down throw. Down throw basically just leads into up airs. It doesn't true combo into them, but it just puts you into a position where you can juggle. Forward throw leads into tech chases. That's not really useful for throwing someone off stage like that unless you're just trying to gain stage control. It's mainly just useful for trying to create tech chases at lower percents, which can lead into strings and knock your opponent into mid percents. So you can see there it has like no knockback, so it allows you to run up to your opponent for free as you have that initial dash speed. So basically, you can forward throw someone and then just tap forward. That's all I did there, and as you can see, I'm right next to them, and they basically have no time to react to that. So if they tech, then you get a punish. If they tech in, then you can try to like flip kick back the B reverse. There's a lot of options you can do for each type of scenario out of a tech chase. And it's pretty much the same thing with back throw. They're both very similar. Up throw is mainly just useful for sending someone away from you. It doesn't really get too many tech chase opportunities except on platform stages, as this is Final Destination, so there are no platforms except for the one that you're standing on at the bottom. But yeah, if you have a stage like Battlefield, you can up throw someone and then they're on a platform in a tech chase scenario, which can lead into like an up smash, or it can lead into a few up airs or an up smash or something if you try to catch them while they're landing on the platform, or if you read their tech and then punish that. But yeah, you can see up throw just sits a bit too high. It's also pretty useful for killing at higher percents. It doesn't really work well at like around 100. It's going to be like 130 maybe. It might be higher actually. So yeah, it's going to be something like 160, I believe, actually, for Falcon. Or 170, I guess, for Falcon. Just he's mid-range character, so mainly useful for a lightweight. So yeah, about 170, although I believe that was DIable still. So 175 will probably be the percent where it kills Falcon. So yeah, up throw, kind of useful for that, although mainly just useful for tech chases on platforms. And then if you're at lower percents, it's actually useful for tech chases at 0, which is why I was trying to show earlier. Yeah, tech chases at 0 better with up throw, and then at 10% I would say forward throw is probably the best option. Although back throw is also pretty good as a mix-up. Yeah, down that goes. Oh, it does. Just poor DI from the Falcon there. But yeah, that basically covers everything about Zero Suit. Have a lot of good anti-airs with neutral air, back air, Zair. I said that backwards, but yeah, neutral back air and Zair. You have a lot of good combo starters and lighters. Tools like your up air, your up special, down smash, not down tilt, but down smash, down tilt, neutral special. A lot of situations that create tech traces like your throws. So yeah, Zero Suit Samus is currently rated as a top tier character on most tier lists. Can't really think of any 6.0 or 6.1 tier lists that put her in high tier or lower. Although there are some people that think that she is the best character in the game. I think that she's not currently the best, although she does have the potential to be the best in the future, as I can see a lot more stuff with Zero Suit changing in the future. Like a lot more combos and stuff being discovered, and a lot more tech trace options and kill options and stuff. As Zero Suit has a lot of movement tricks that can confuse opponents. It's basically the most unique thing about her as a rushdown character is that she can like just foxtrot in, foxtrot back for free, without getting punished by even some of the fastest just like options like jabs and stuff. You can just foxtrot and foxtrot back at someone's shield and they won't have enough time to be able to react to it. You have all of the anti-air stuff, which is really important in Ultimate, I would say, as a lot of the aerials got buffed due to the free-frame jump squat, so a lot of people like to throw out aerials in situations where they're in the corner or like off stage and Zero Suit can punish them for free. And then she's also very consistent at edge guarding with moves like down air and down special. And then she also has really good ways to get out of disadvantage using down special and just other movement tricks. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this guide for now. I plan on doing the next character guide on Wario. So yeah, guess let me just do this really quickly, as I like to do this at the end of the video to show off the taunts. So yeah, and I don't know when the Wario guide will come out. I believe next week is when I plan on doing it, although it just depends on the time I have to sit down and record it, kind of like with this. So yeah, I guess I'll see everyone in the next